Coming up this week...
Something will hit you in life.
Something will hit you, bitch. Be careful. Financial threat. Imminent.
I used to live in victim state. I had to change my career and I lost the use of my arm. Abusive relationship. I've got slipped discs in my back, being made an orphan, you know, shit. My dad dying at 50, my mum getting dementia at 25.
Yeah.
That was a struggle. You know, if you've been to Tenerife, I've been to 11 Reef. The victims. You know?
This was victimhood.
Yeah, trauma, struggle has been a big part of my journey. Preach.
You are listening to the Son of a Bitch podcast.
With your hosts, Krystyna Lennon and Joel Mignot. So, what are we drinking, Joel?
Today, I have made us apple and elderflower martini.
So, do you think struggle builds character and resilience?
100%, but at the same time, how much more character do I need to goddamn build? I'm done. I want to have some fun.
Character built? Now I'm
Character is built.
Ride.
Do you know what I mean? But this is the thing about life. Once you uncover one thing, another thing comes. It's like, okay, I've been to therapy. I've, conquered this issue that I had within myself. And then, bam, you got another one.
Life is just a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And you don't appreciate the highs if you don't have the lows.
Contrast.
There was one particular year we went on like 6 or 7 holidays. It was when we went to LA and we filmed that TV show. But we'd been to Russia.
Called the world's best.
Yeah, we went to Russia. We went to LA filming.
Yeah.
And then we had like 6 holidays as well. And every time, like after the first few, I'd be getting on the plane and I just didn't have that excitement. It was like,
Yeah.
And it's like some people have one holiday in their lifetime, or they look forward all year and work hard, so they have that one holiday. And here I am, like
traveling the world,
just not even appreciating it at all.
Yeah.
So I do feel that those down times give you the ups.
But how much more downtimes? I like being up. No, I think for me, I'm just in a transitional period of my life. I think, being 27 years old, having a successful career as a model, I've had to mourn that career now because it's not fulfilling me emotionally. Mm-hmm. I'd like to think of myself as a talented person, and it's kind of hindered me in a way, the career as a model. So now I'm like reconnecting with myself and trying to find out what it is I'm doing with my life.
What the fuck are you doing with your life?
But everybody my age feels this way. Like, what the hell am I doing with my life? Like, it's such a common theme.
As well, people in their 40s, generally, they'll do one career
And
up
they'll
until
switch.
40, and then they'll be like, I only did this because my dad thought it was a good idea, or because my parents forced me into uni, or whatever else.
Yeah.
And then they retrain. So it's not just your age, but at your age, it's about exploring lots of things. Nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's about getting as many experiences under your belt, going different places, seeing different things, and then you can have a better idea of actually, this is what I'm good at. Doing what you love,
Yeah.
what you're good at,
Yeah.
and then what people need. That's the sweet spot.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of talents and things that you're good at. It's just, at the minute, you're at that beginning stage of exploring, which is horrible.
Yeah. It's a hard spot to be in. Society makes you feel like you're not a successful person if you don't have X amount of money in the bank, or if you don't have all these flashy things, that you're not a successful person. But personally, I have great friends. I have a good relationship. I've got family. Like, I've got a lot of things that make me feel successful. My career at this transitional stage, I would say, is a trigger. Maybe
dear.
I'm triggered. No. You scramble to try and figure out, and you try and rush this process, but maybe there is beauty in this struggle, and maybe there is, you know, beauty in being vulnerable within this.
There is, and there's
Yeah.
growth in that time.
Yeah.
That's the time where you dig deep, and maybe you don't have the courage to do something. You're just forced to do something, try things that you probably... When comfort brings about apathy. If you had lots of money, and you probably wouldn't be so desperate to find something.
Yeah.
You'd just be like, whatever, you know, when it comes, it comes.
Yeah. And I think that's how modelling made me feel. Like, you just become accustomed to that way of life. You know, doing 1 job a week, 2 jobs a week. Like, that's not how the real world works.
Because obviously people probably don't realise you came back from America in the first lockdown.
During the pandemic.
Because your visa ran out.
And boy, let me tell you, that was a crash back down to reality. Living in LA, although LA isn't what people may think, you do get to do some amazing things. And I feel like my lifestyle was amazing. But coming back to England during the pandemic...
Back to your mum's.
I had to come back to my mum's. You know, I'd spent all my money. I'd been crazy. I'd had a wild time. And there I was back at my mum's, and I had to do some thinking. I had to, you know, really get down and deep into, you know, why I found myself back here, what my next moves were. I had to go to therapy. Because obviously being at home, especially being a kid, and going straight into modelling, I feel like there was loads of things that I was running away from. And then having to sit in the reality of all these things that you were running away from for like 5, 6, 7 years, and then sitting with it, that shit's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, I look back at that time with fondness as well, because that was like the catalyst for my journey of self-discovery. A deeper self-discovery. Those moments I needed. Maybe I didn't know that I needed it, but it was definitely a good moment. It was a humbling moment and a moment of vulnerability. That's also when I went and did Accutane. And so, like, not only had I had all these internal issues, I looked crazy. I had loads of acne. Like, I think emotionally...
And Accutane's the drug.
Accutane's the drug that you can go on, and it's quite an intense drug. Normally this suggests like between 4 and 6 months, but if it's more extreme, then maybe more. And it's a drug that can actually alter, you know, your mental health. It can make you very depressed. It gives you extremely cracked skin, dry skin. Your hair can fall out, your bones can hurt. Like, you have to have blood tests every month. Like, it's a whole situation.
So it was a struggle.
It was, yeah, like, I had to go through a mental rebirth and a physical rebirth. And I was like, any more? Anything else? But that contrast in my life, that moment of contrast, you know, definitely made me more resilient, and it definitely humbled me to a point where I was able to be a little bit more sensitive. It warmed my heart up a little bit.
That cold heart.
And made me start asking questions like, why am I like this? How can I change this? Why is my family like this? Why are my friends like this? Like,
show me your family.
Nothing. No, but I think I think definitely hard times do build character. And as hard as it can be, like, you have to have those moments.
Yeah. Lots of parenting styles, they try and save the kids.
Yeah.
They don't want the kids shouted at school. You know, as soon as they get told off, they're into school like, you can't speak to my child like that, blah, blah, blah. They try and protect their child, which every parent wants to protect their child from being hurt, from everything else. But in doing that, you make your child soft. And then they end up coming to me having self-harmed or whatever else because they haven't naturally built any resilience. So you've got to see your kids hurt, cry, fall flat on the face,
Yeah.
experience rejection from their peer groups, everything else. It's just part of growing up. You can't save them,
No.
you know? And that's something that I think has changed generationally.
Yeah.
Like, parents are not allowing their children to feel uncomfortable. So then they, especially then when they go out to secondary school or something and people are unkind and their parents can't save them, they really experience a crash because they've got no safety net.
I feel like if I had a kid, it would pain me. Well, maybe I'm the problem.
Oh, hallelujah. End of podcast.
No. I feel like it would pain me to like let them just do what they want to do.
Do you think I'm sat there going, ha, ha, ha. He's fallen? No, it does.
Yeah.
You know, there's been times where my children have asked for money for things.
Yeah.
And it's money that I've had, but I've said no because it's like, no, you have to. I can't
Figure
just
this
give you
out.
everything.
Yeah.
Because you'll never want to go out and do things yourself. And you have been around people with money. And when I say money, serious money.
I know.
And somebody in particular, we won't mention names, I remember being cut, his monthly allowance was cut to £10,000 a month, and he was devastated. He crashed massively because his allowance had been cut to 10 grand.
Yeah.
That is relevant to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's like...
That's his struggle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a real struggle for him.
I'd love 10 grand.
Yeah, just free. Yeah.
But no, it was. I saw the repercussions of that.
Exactly. But when people are given, they don't ever have that kind of,
Context.
they don't have that struggle to build the resilience.
Yeah.
So the first thing that hits them, and something will hit you in life.
Something will hit you, bitch. Be careful.
So we would laugh and say that it's not adversity, but it's relevant.
Yeah, for
him.
Yeah.
That was adversity.
Yes.
And that was a struggle. And it was a complete change of circumstances for him. People that don't build resilience, when they're hit with something like that, they're hit really hard.
Yeah.
Because, and you experienced, as his friend, him going through that.
I'd like £10,000 and would I be struggling? No.
So there is an amount.
Yes.
Apparently it's $60,000, or this was a few years ago.
Okay.
So let's say $80,000. It can make you happier. Beyond that amount, that then it doesn't
I've heard
necessarily
that.
make you happier. But anyway, that's a different point.
Yes.
The point is that even though most of us would say that having your budget cut to £10,000 a month is not adversity, for him it was. That was the first kind of thing he'd faced in his life. I mean, I don't know everything he faced in his life, but the first
financial threat.
Yes.
Imminent.
Yes. And that was very real for him.
Yeah.
First time he'd faced anything like that, and it was a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably saw the fallout of that firsthand.
Yeah. Because I hang around with, well-to-do people, and because I'm on Made in Chelsea.
Hoping to drop some change.
Yeah. A lot of people think that, I'm this wealthy person as well, but it's like everything I have, I've worked for myself. There's times in life where it has been a struggle for me and I've had to just keep pushing. There's a lot of people, upkeeping this image on social media, and that's just not realistic.
Social media is the highlights reel of people's lives
Of course.
anyway.
But people will let you believe otherwise. They will.
Well, I mean, it's very damaging for mental health as well when people
100%.
see everybody's journey. Everybody's, you don't share when you're sat watching TV in your boxer shorts. Do you know what I mean? You never do that, Joel. Well, maybe you do. Joel's going, no,
I don't.
No, it's people only share the holidays, the meal out, when they're looking good. They don't show, when, I don't know, that life's fallen. I mean, some people do. That's all some people do is share, like, oh
negativity.
my God. Yeah, and that's
something I can't hate.
Oh,
Let's
God.
have a nice balance, guys.
Yeah.
Let's do balance.
Sometimes, I don't know whether you've noticed my social media, but sometimes on social media, if I've posted a lot of good stuff, I think, do you know what? People will feel bad. Like, looking at my life thinking, she's got everything, you know, she's on holiday again and, you know, whatever.
People will feel bad.
Well, they'll feel bad about their lives. I've been that person. What? What's funny?
Carry on.
So I've been that person, seeing other people's lives that seems perfect and thinking, my life is shit.
Yeah.
And, do you know what I mean?
I felt like that as well, yeah.
Why isn't my life like that?
Yeah.
Recently, I went on holiday, you know, a cruise around the Caribbean, which was fabulous, and shared that. But I also shared the fact that I collapsed on the way home.
Yeah.
You know, we'll come back to that in a later episode. That's a podcast on its own.
Yeah.
But it's for balance. This has been amazing, but this was really shit. Or I've been in a lot of pain, or this, that, and the other. I try and share that so that people don't feel as bad.
I think the things that I'm proud of most on my social media and even on Made in Chelsea is, you know, those moments of adversity, like, you know, my journey with acne, you know, spreading knowledge about things that happen in real gay relationships. You're not going to connect with somebody when you're just posting, you know, the best things of your life. There's real, you know, beauty in vulnerability and sharing your story with people, because that is what people connect with. The concept of like fame and all of that, these things has changed.
Turned on its head.
It's been changed. Like, just because you go on a show doesn't mean that you're going to have loads of followers. It doesn't mean that you're going to make loads of money. It doesn't mean any of these things. If you have 100k followers on Instagram, it doesn't mean that you are that bitch and you're making a bucket load of money. Like, you have to be proactive in the things that you are doing. You don't just get things given to you.
I mean, for a lot of people, followers means money.
It's just about how you monetize yourself.
Yeah.
And how you sell yourself and who wants you. What has been your biggest struggle?
There's been so many. Wow. Yeah, like you say, you stand up from one and you're like, whew, I'm glad that's over. And everything's, it's like life has seasons. You might go for 2-3 years in a season that's pretty great and everything, and then some kind of juggernaut smashes through you, and you know you have to learn to stand up again. And so I've been through the pain with my back.
Yeah.
You know, I had to change my career because I've got slipped discs in my back. It's not very glamorous, and get a lot of pain. I lost the use of my arm. That was a struggle. I think that goes up there. I mean, shit, my dad dying at 50, my mum getting dementia at 25, being made an orphan, you know, that kind of thing. Abusive relationships, I've had it all, you know. I'm one of those, when it comes to victim, I used to live in victim state. Like, you know, if you've been to Tenerife, I've been to 11 Reef. The victim is, you know,
this was victim hurt.
Yeah, you can see how animated I've become now. Oh my God, this is a subject I know a lot about. Trauma, struggle has been a big part of my journey.
Yes. And I've bear witness to that.
Yeah, you've seen a fair bit of it.
Yeah.
But I think the pain, physical pain with slip disc, losing the use of my arm.
Yeah.
That was a struggle, and that came at a point in my life where
health struggles.
Yeah.
That's been more difficult for you than internal or abuse or anything like that.
I don't know. I suppose that's a more recent one. Yeah. And that I still struggle with, because I still struggle with pain now. It's an ongoing struggle. Yeah.
It's not just going to go away.
No.
Overnight.
I've got a knackered spine, basically. Yeah. Slip disc and everything. So that is something that I struggle with on a regular. Mm-hmm. So, and at that point, when, you know, you were making my dinners. Yep. When I was having to, the only thing I could do every day was my youngest daughter, Tallulah. The only thing I could do is walk her to school, and then, you know, I was high on medication, amitriptyline, doing nothing else. And I just studied the whole time.
Yeah.
I think it started and I had a major crash and I was like, oh my God, my life's over. And then I was like, right, I am going to use this time to rebuild, because all of a sudden I was on benefits because it couldn't work. You were cooking, cleaning, Leah was cleaning, my eldest
This is
daughter.
why I'm so good at cooking and cleaning now.
Yeah. Cleaning.
Have you seen my house? It is clean. Unlike yours.
Rude. That was one of my biggest struggles, I think.
Would you say that was one of the lowest moments?
Yeah. When I say I've never been suicidal, as in I wanted to kill myself. But when I say I'd be jealous of somebody that was dying of cancer, and people could be triggered by that, but I would actually feel I wish that was me, because I didn't want to continue. But I wouldn't, because I had kids, I wouldn't take that option to end my life. Yeah. But that's how low I got.
So you were saying you didn't want to physically commit suicide,
to be alive,
but you'd rather
not be
on
alive.
the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I felt at some moments.
Yeah.
But it was like I had an option then of filling out a disability form and claiming disability benefit. And that was a very pivotal point. If I'd have done that, our lives would have been very different, I believe.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm sure.
Because obviously, when you first started going down to London, I had to pay for you to go to London. Yeah. That would have never happened if I'd have taken that route.
Yeah, it's true.
Because for all, I couldn't support you in the way some people did, but I could buy you a megabus or a National Express or something.
Praise God to megabus.
It was, those kind of funds were available.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at that point, I thought, I remember getting the form and I thought, do I want to put myself in that headspace? Yeah. So what I did instead was I started rebuilding. Even though the doctor said I had an 80-year-old spine, be lucky to be able to have any kind of a life, I was like, no. Yeah. Let me do what I can. And in the end, I'd be walking to the gym, doing little bits at the gym, and I rebuilt a lot. I'm not perfect, No. Kind of perfect.
Girl.
Yeah. Almost perfect.
She's a bitch.
But boy, did I have to dig deep. And I used that time because I thought, right, I'm on benefits. Let's take it as somebody is paying me for this time. What can I best make use of? And I think that's one good thing I am good at, is making use of my time. Yeah. So it was like, if not that I'd ever go to prison, but if I went to prison, I'd be like, how can I use this time effectively?
There's still time, sweetie.
There is. Keep talking to me like that.
Are you proud of that journey, though? Do you look back at that journey with fondness, or are you kind of like, I'm glad that shit is over?
Yeah, I never want to go back there. Yes. I know life's life, and I'm probably going to revisit those times.
Yeah, it comes up, it comes around.
Yeah.
How much do you think Delusion had to play with you getting out of that space?
Do you mean
that
delusion?
headspace? I feel like positive delusion is such a necessary aspect.
Delusion? It's not delusion, is it?
Well, it's dreaming. It's dreaming.
Delusion is something that's not real.
Well, yeah, you have to fantasize and visualize.
100%.
All the things you want to come true.
100%. There's no way. Things happened after that I could not even visualize.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was like, and the thing with changing your mindset like that is once you go so far, you can see further to then go even further.
And I found that with myself, like, just, you might be overwhelmed in that moment of like, what the hell am I doing? Life might be coming at you fast. Adulting is ghetto as hell. It is. And nobody told me. It's so ghetto. What I try to tell myself is, just remember, every day needs to be a 1% increase. Like, just keep walking in the right direction. Don't just feel.
Sometimes you have to crawl.
Yeah, whatever you can do, crawl. Drag yourself across the floor. Do what you need to do. But as long as you are not
stagnation.
she is a dirty bitch.
You know, at school, you go up a level.
Yeah.
At university, college, you go up
Yeah.
a level. And life should be like that.
It should.
But some people, it's not like that.
It's not.
But do you know what? For some people, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to upgrade your life every year.
No. You don't know.
No,
You don't. I
he's
don't
not
think. No.
convinced.
I feel like your life can downgrade at times, and that's fine. But as long as you analyse your situation,
An arrow is pulled back before it gets propelled.
there you go. Y'all
forward.
heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Pull that shit back and let it go.
Preach.
Do you think that any of these struggles have harboured any resentment?
As you know, I've been through violent relationships.
Yes.
That Jamelia song, Thank You.
I love that song. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you haven't heard it, go listen to
Go
it.
listen to Jamelia. Thank you.
It's like, thank you for putting me down. It's those moments you grow from.
Yes.
100%. The moments where people have not believed in me, I've grown from those moments. When I started to do the show,
Yeah.
and people were like, you're going to do what? A show with a dog? You think that's going to work? No one's going to watch it? Well, excuse me, honey. It was like trending on everything and everywhere.
Yeah. How many
Like-
views you got, girl?
Yeah, don't know.
Millions.
35,000,000.700. No, I don't know. And 3.
So is your advice not to listen to anybody? And is it okay to share ideas with people?
Not to listen to anybody would be a stupid thing to do.
Right.
You got to take advice off somebody. Okay.
What's it like having a gay son? Must be fabulous.
So my rant is triggered people. People that are angry as hell about everything.
Yeah.
It's like, like, I don't know, April Fool's Day comes around. You have to be really careful what you joke about. Like, before, people used to share a scan result picture and like, oh, I'm pregnant. But then you get the people that are like, you can't do that, I've lost a baby. Or, do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's like triggered. And I can say that like, you're my rainbow child. So, and anybody that don't know what that is, it's, when you've lost a baby and then
Yeah.
you get pregnant straight away afterwards. So I've
And
been
I'm
through
also
that.
gay. Hello. Rainbow baby.
Yeah. I never made that connection.
I think there's a lot in this world that, is worth defending. I think your generation, Generation X, known for being a little bit, abrasive. And there's a lot our generation needs to change because of the generations that came before us.
You need to change.
Yeah, in the world.
We ruin the world.
Not you've ruined the world. Maybe y'all need to just go to therapy. I think maybe that might be it.
Right, okay.
Why do your generation not want to go to therapy?
I don't think... I have lots of clients that are my age and older.
Yes.
I believe your generation, it's like your generation, they get very easily offended.
Yeah.
Like, our generation are just used to basically taking the piss out of each other. And you weren't being bullied unless you were having your head, like, smacked off your shoulders. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't get bullied with words as much because you shrugged it off. So you just got used to it and you were tough.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas things have changed with your generation and other generations that it's now we're not allowed to say this, we're not allowed to say that. And by doing that, it makes you more sensitive.
Yeah.
Because you're not used to, like, people saying...
But should we be used to it? Should we have a standard of living where we want, to live in a just society?
I agree, but it's not, is it? It's... If I was, like, really particular and never said anything unkind to you, I'm not preparing you for the real world.
Yes. I think that's 1+ for being the son of a bitch.
You are well prepared.
I think I've been prepared.
I mean, my style is, I suppose, quite harsh.
Yeah, you've got tough love.
Yeah.
You are a tough lover,
Yeah.
for sure.
And it's like my therapy style. My clients come to me because that's my therapy style.
Yeah.
Is I'm not going to mince my words.
Yeah.
If you're being a fanny, I'm going to tell you you're being a fanny. It's literally...
A fanny?
Well, whatever. That's what I'm going to do. That is my therapy style.
I think some people do appreciate that, but I guess you will get clients that are a little bit more sensitive.
I mean, that's why I have a consultation with my clients and they see how I am straight away.
So let's get to the root of this. What does a triggered person embody to you?
So, like, for instance, you could open a door for someone, like, you know, I don't know, a feminist, and it's like it's the wrong thing to do.
Open the door to a feminist?
Yeah, like a man could hold the door open for a woman,
okay,
and all of a sudden it's an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody's trying to do something nice, and yet they become offended by it.
Yes.
You know? And it's that kind of thing that can be offended by literally anything.
But is there some things that people have a right to be offended to?
Obviously, if things are quite severe, but, you know, people make jokes, it's just... It's a scale, isn't it? There's some things that you really shouldn't, like... I mean, I don't know. Is there things you shouldn't joke about? There's nothing really off my...
Not off yours. I definitely have a filter, but I've learned to have a filter. I think definitely growing up with you, I think our family, we were just so abrasive. I think being out in the real world, you know, travelling, I've learned to filter myself a little bit more because not everybody needs to hear my opinion on what they're doing with their lives. I think that's a valuable lesson that most teenagers my age grow up to learn.
You see, that's where
did that lesson happen with you?
Well, I'm going to say that's why we're different because everybody does need to hear my opinion. No, it's... I have an opinion. You see, I could be offended that you're trying to silence me.
Oh, shut up. Maybe that's what you need.
See, you just told us your show. I'm offended.
Oh, shit. Oh.
We have a floppy mic issue. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Joel made the mic go floppy.
Fine.
As you listen to my voice, you will feel obliged, obligated, compelled to subscribe, like, and share.